Welcome to another edition of Biblical Errancy Commentary, the series that takes a critical look at Scripture, pointing out its numerous errors, contradictions, and fallacies. This program teaches a kind of Sunday school in reverse by giving you the biblical information that you should have heard but didn't. With millions of Americans hearing a totally one-sided presentation of the Bible, balance is greatly needed. Only when people are given both sides of an issue can a truly objective analysis be possible. And here to provide the alternative perspective is the editor of Biblical Errancy Newsletter, Mr. Dennis McKenzie.
Welcome to the 40th edition of Biblical Errancy Commentary. We're pleased you've joined us. This program is the third in our series on the biblical treatment of rewards, punishment, and justice. So far, we've discussed original sin, evil, suffering, the innocent, and the atonement. We can now move to another major area beset with problems and injustices: the subject of heaven. If there's any area upon which the minds of all Christians are focused, and in which justice should flow like waters from a mighty stream, it lies in that realm to which all Christians aspire, commonly known as heaven. Surely here, more than anywhere else, one can expect justice to reign supreme. But unfortunately, biblical teachings forestall any possibility of justice denied now being granted later. Many practical problems clearly show that the entire concept is anything but viable and reeks with injustice and partiality. Yet few people have invested sufficient time or effort to soberly critique what a real heaven would entail. Some of the most potent questions to be addressed with respect to the existence of heaven are the following. First, if the number of rewards and or possessions in heaven are equal, regardless of the number of good deeds committed on earth, won't that create dissension and a feeling among many that heaven is far from what they expected? And if the rewards in heaven aren't equal, won't that just add to the inequities? Second, the Bible repeatedly says that people will be rewarded according to their works. To prove this, one could cite Matthew 16:27. For the Son of Man shall come, and then he shall reward every man according to his works. Romans 2:5-6. The righteous judgment of God, who will render to every man according to his deeds. Revelations 20:12. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books, according to their works. And Revelations 20:13, which says, and they were judged every man according to their works, unquote. So clearly people are to be rewarded according to their works. But where does this rewarding occur? Since this world is certainly not the locale, at least not yet, and there is no biblical basis for an intermediate stage known as purgatory. Apparently it occurs in heaven. If so, does that mean some people in heaven will have 6 Cadillacs while others will have only 1 or 2? Figuratively speaking, it could be any item, of course. How rewards will be dispensed and in what form is a very practical question that's rarely addressed. Since some people committed more good deeds on earth than others, some mechanism must exist by which some will receive more rewards than others. As a result, the inequality so evident on earth will continue and no doubt increase in heaven. Which is the true heaven? One in which people receive equal rewards regardless of the amount of good effort demonstrated on earth, or one in which rewards are greater for those who perform the larger number of good deeds? The former sounds like injustice in action. The latter sounds like inequality in action, and inequality is something with which this world is bountifully endowed. Apologist John R. Rice, he's the founder of the Sword of the Lord publishing house and a teacher of Jerry Falwell, he was asked if all Christians have the same happiness and joy in heaven. He conceded on page 17 in his work entitled, Dr. Rice, here's my question. He conceded that inequalities would exist by saying, quote, 1 Corinthians 3:11-15 clearly shows that many Christians will have little reward or none. Certainly there will be differences in rewards, unquote. That hardly sounds like a realm of eternal bliss. A related problem of similar importance has always plagued the conservative wing of Christianity. By believing that one is saved by faith alone, fundamentalists have managed to box themselves into a corner and discount one of the most important factors in the Christian scheme of justice, a judgment day. Their dilemma is quite simple. If one is saved by faith alone, as millions of fundamentalists claim, then why have a judgment day to begin with? Why have what they refer to as the Great White Throne Judgment when the decision as to whether or not you will spend eternity in heaven or hell was fixed on the day you died?